A Shopify store in Ohio started selling to customers in Germany, Japan, and Brazil, all in the same month. They don't have a single employee who speaks those languages. They didn't hire translators. They used AI. Here's exactly how they did it, and how you can too. There's a massive market most small businesses completely ignore, the 75% of the world's population that doesn't speak English. Not because they don't want those customers. They just don't know how to serve them. Translation used to mean hiring human translators at 10 to 25 cents per word. A full website translation could run you $5,000 or more. And customer support in multiple languages? Forget it, you'd need multilingual staff. But AI translation has gotten shockingly good in the last 2 years. We're not talking about the clunky Google Translate of 2015. These tools handle context, idioms, and industry-specific terms. Let me show you 3 specific ways businesses are using them right now. First scenario, translating your website. This is the biggest unlock for most businesses. Weglet is probably the easiest tool for this. You install it on your site, works with Shopify, WordPress, Wix, pretty much anything, and it automatically detects and translates every page. Your visitors see a language switcher, pick their language, and the entire site loads in that language. Product descriptions, checkout flow, even your return policy. Here's what makes Weglet different from just running your site through Google Translate. It uses a combination of AI translation engines, including DeepL, which is consistently rated as the most natural-sounding translator available, and it lets you edit any translation manually. So if there's a product name you don't want translated, or a phrase that needs a specific local term, you fix it once and it stays fixed. Pause, the pricing scales with how many words are on your site. A small e-commerce store with around 10,000 words can get started for about $15 a month per language. That's for the full site, not per page. Compare that to hiring a translator at 15 cents per word, that's $1,500 for the same content, and you'd need to pay again every time you update a product. One store I looked at added French and Spanish to their site and saw a 23% increase in international orders within the first 2 months. Their Weglet bill was $30 a month. The extra revenue was over $4,000. That's not a hard decision. And here's a detail that matters for SEO. Weglet creates separate URLs for each language. So your French version lives at yoursite.com/fr and Google indexes it separately. That means you can actually rank in French Google searches, which is something a simple translate widget on the page wouldn't give you. Second scenario, customer support across languages. This is where a lot of businesses get stuck. You can translate your website all day, but when a customer in Japan sends you a support email in Japanese, what do? You can't just ignore it, that's a paying customer. And Google Translate in a browser tab is clunky and slow when you're handling dozens of tickets. DeepL's API makes this surprisingly simple. You can plug it into your help desk, Zendesk, Freshdesk, Intercom, and it translates incoming messages to English for your team, then translates your reply back to the customer's language. The customer writes in Japanese, your team reads it in English, responds in English, and the customer gets the reply in Japanese. The whole exchange feels natural on both sides. Pause, the translation quality is strong enough that most customers don't realize they're not talking to a native speaker. I tested it with a friend who speaks Japanese, sent her a few translated replies and asked if they sounded natural. She said they read like a fluent non-native speaker, which for customer support is more than good enough. DeepL handles formal and informal registers, and it's particularly good with European and Asian languages. The API costs about $25 a month for the base plan, which covers around 500,000 characters. That's a lot of support tickets. Even a busy store probably won't hit that limit. Third scenario, document translation. SmartCat handles this one well. You've got contracts, product manuals, marketing materials, upload the document, Pick the target language, and SmartCat translates it while keeping the original formatting. PDFs, Word docs, PowerPoint presentations, it preserves the layout. That's a huge deal because reformatting a translated document used to take almost as long as the translation itself. I uploaded a 12-page product catalog with images, tables, and call-out boxes. SmartCat translated it to German in about 90 seconds, and every element stayed exactly where it was supposed to be. SmartCat also has a built-in editor where a human reviewer can polish anything the AI missed. For important documents, contracts, compliance materials, you can assign a native speaker to review before you send it out. Pause. Now for the reality check. AI translation is genuinely good for business communication, product descriptions, and customer support. For straightforward content, it's honestly hard to tell from human translation. But it's not perfect everywhere. Languages with very different structures from English, like Korean, Arabic, or Thai, still produce occasional awkward phrasing. I tested a product description in Arabic and the word order in one sentence was off enough that a native speaker flagged it. Legal documents and medical content should always get a human review. The stakes are too high for a mistranslation. And culturally sensitive marketing copy, taglines, brand voice, humor, doesn't translate well through any AI. A joke that lands in English can be confusing or even offensive in another culture. You'll want a native speaker to look at those. There's also a hidden cost people don't think about. Translation is ongoing, not one time. Every time you add a product, update a page, or write a new support article, it needs translating. Tools like Weglet handle this automatically, but you're paying monthly for the privilege. Budget for it as a recurring expense, not a one-and-done project. The other thing, some markets expect localization, not just translation. Japanese customers expect different page layouts than German customers. Brazilian Portuguese has different conventions than European Portuguese. Translation gets you 80% of the way there, but true localization, adapting your entire experience for a specific market, requires more thought and usually some human input. Here's the bottom line. If you're selling anything online and you're only serving English speakers, you're leaving money on the table. A big table. The tools exist right now to translate your website, handle customer support, and translate your documents, all without hiring a single translator. Weglet for your website starts at $15 a month, handles everything automatically. DeepL for customer communication, $25 a month gets you 500,000 characters. SmartCat for documents, free tier available, paid plans for volume. That's the full stack, and all three can be set up in a single afternoon. Start with your website. Install Weglet, add 1 or 2 languages where you're already seeing traffic, check your Google Analytics for visitor countries, and you'll probably be surprised how much international traffic you're already getting. Most businesses see results within the first month. The barrier to going international used to be tens of thousands of dollars and a multilingual team. Now it's about $50 a month and an afternoon of setup. Pause. If this was helpful, subscribe for more practical AI breakdowns every week. And if your business already uses AI translation, tell me which tools you're using in the comments. I'm always testing new ones and I'd love to hear what's working for you.